Marc Guehi expected to start versus Chelsea amid Liverpool transfer talks. Crystal Palace manager Oliver Glasner expects Marc Guehi to start in their Premier League opener on Sunday, though concedes anything can happen between now and then. Liverpool have been in talks with Palace over the transfer of their captain. The reports of a proposed deal worth £30 million with a further £5 million in add dash-ons. Palace chairman Steve Parish has already conceded a sale is likely with Guehi out of contract next summer. In the Times, Paul Joyce reports the player's preference for Anfield is clear, with Palace unlikely to forego a guaranteed transfer fee. The expectation is a deal will eventually be struck, but for now, it means Guehi is expected to start. Against Chelsea on Sunday, Marc has trained the entire week with us. Every single training session is the same with EBs. They prepared the best way for the Chelsea game on Sunday afternoon, Glasner told reporters on Friday. I've been in the football business for too long, so I know that at any time of any day, things can happen. If you ask me now, I expect both Marc and Ebbs to start on Sunday. Rapid completion of Liverpool's agreement for Parma's young defender Giovanni Leone serves as another reminder of how swiftly transfer deals can take shape. The 18-year-old is expected to be present at Anfield for the clash against Bournemouth. However, he will not be eligible to feature as new arrivals. This must be officially registered by 12 p.m. on the final working day before a match. And at that point, his medical was still incomplete. Attention now turns to whether Liverpool will push ahead in negotiations for Marc Guehi before Crystal Palace's 2 p.m. kickoff on Sunday. If talks move forward quickly, it could lead to the England defender being withdrawn from the squad. For both clubs, the main concern is the risk of injury. Liverpool would need to assess its severity, while Palace would face the danger of missing out on a significant transfer fee. Palace are reportedly seeking around £40 million, part of which would go to Guehi's former club. Chelsea due to a salon clause. Liverpool are reluctant to pay an inflated sum, but may be prepared to meet somewhere in the middle by structuring the deal in a way that satisfies all sides. Harvey Elliot, valued at approximately £50 million, has been linked with the Eagles as a potential option if Palace lose Eberekia in a separate development. Ben Doak is close to sealing a £25 million switch to Bournemouth, with the night already withdrawn from Liverpool's matchday squad for the Cherries fixture. Meanwhile, the Alexander Isak saga continues to dominate headlines. Newcastle boss Eddie Howe confirmed that the want-away Sweden international, the subject of a rejected £110 million bid from Liverpool, will not feature in Saturday's season opener at Aston Villa. Isak has informed the Magpies he wishes to explore other opportunities this summer. Howe, who has so far remained diplomatic over the matter, has admitted uncertainty when asked if the striker would play for Newcastle again before the transfer deadline, saying, "As I sit here now, I don't know that. Alex will control that." This admission appears to confirm that Isak's absence is down to his refusal to play rather than a managerial decision. Signed from Real Sociedad for £63 million in 2022, the forward still has 3 years remaining on his deal. He is expected to face a fine up to 2 weeks' wages. For missing this weekend's competitive match, reports suggest Liverpool could make a second approach, though their first offer fell £40 million short of Newcastle's valuation. Howe maintains there is still a way back for the player if no agreement is reached. Yes, I believe there is, but of course discussions and talks would have to take place in order for that to happen. Asked if he believed Isak would still be a Newcastle player on the 2nd of September, Howe replied, "Yes, at the moment I would, but I've got no change of feeling throughout the summer. It's not in my hands, but he's contracted to us, so that's why I say that." Isak's one condition for returning. The uncertainty surrounding Isak's future is now at a breaking point. Sources close to the player, including Ben Jacobs, claim the striker will only consider rejoining Howe's squad or discussing a contract extension. If Liverpool personally confirm that their pursuit is over, Liverpool, despite having their £110 million bid rejected earlier this month, have not entirely pulled out of negotiations. However, they are not expected to return with an improved offer unless Newcastle gives some indication that they would consider selling. The Magpies are believed to have set their price at £150 million and want the issue resolved before the 1st of September. Deadline. Isak's frustration has been visible all summer. While Newcastle were on their pre-season tour of Asia, playing Arsenal in Singapore and Tottenham in Seoul, the forward trained alone in Spain. Since returning to England last week, he has continued working in isolation at the Benton training ground. He was absent for warm-up games against Espanyol and Atletico Madrid at St. James Park. And his exclusion from the Aston Villa fixture confirms his current exile. The situation is especially striking given Isak's exceptional 2024-25 campaign, where he scored 27 goals in all competitions, 23 in the league, second only to Mohamed Salah's 29. His prolific form was central to Newcastle's fifth-place finish, which secured Champions League football on goal difference ahead of Aston Villa. Liverpool's interest stems from the need to replace Darwin Núñez, who left for Al Hilal in a £46.3 million move. With funds available, the Reds must now decide whether to break the British transfer record to land the Swede. Since the 2021 Saudi-led takeover, Newcastle have risen from mid-table to genuine Champions League contenders. Yet the Isak dispute threatens to disrupt their momentum, leaving supporters divided between sympathy and frustration over the player's stance. With just weeks left in the transfer window, the question lingers. Will Isak achieve his Anfield ambition, or will he remain on Tyneside in a tense, uneasy truce? Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Manchester United are not backing down in their pursuit of Brighton midfielder Carlos Baleba, despite the transfer being described as very difficult. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Romano emphasized, "They're not giving up." Is it difficult? Yes, extremely. But United are still in the race. Baleba, for his part, hasn't ruled anything out. Personal terms won't be an issue, and the lure of European football is not a deterrent. He'd join United immediately, I can guarantee that, said Romano. The stumbling block remains the negotiations between the clubs. Brighton are reportedly holding out for a £120 million fee, with owner Tony Bloom known for his firm stance in such deals. Still, United are undeterred. According to The Independent, they're weighing up an £80 million initial offer, with the rest to come through performance-based add-ons. There's even talk of offering a player in return Jadon Sancho, who's been linked with a move to Roma, but at Brighton are unlikely to entertain such an arrangement. Baleba's valuation exceeds what United are realistically able to pay this summer, especially under the constraints of profit and sustainability regulations (PSR). Were it not for those limitations, Baleba would be the clear priority for United's Ineos-led leadership. Some fans have expressed confusion about how the club could afford to spend over £200 million on new arrivals Matheus Cunha, Brian Bumo and Benjamin Zico given the financial restrictions. But the club appears to be managing PSR